I was never meant to be this thing, but it's how I learned to survive. It was my reason, it was my because, and the why is so much simpler. The why is just a question that would never have been asked if I didn't choose to live. In our own way, we're all like Pinocchio, searching for some way to finally be made real. It's an excerpt from this book, Stickboy, by Koyczans. Now, Shane is a spoken word poet from Canada, and years ago, a YouTube TED Talk went viral called For the Bullied and the Beautiful. It's Shane Koyczans' story of how he was bullied at school and then he became the one thing he feared most. He became a bully. And so his story has been recorded in Stickboy. Now the thing is, a lot of young men in New Zealand deal with mental health issues, anger issues, feelings of belonging. And that's what this book does. It's a great book around that concept of how do you become a bully? What are the triggers? What are the things that make you become this? So having a discussion about a book like this is super important. The idea of mental illness being something that we don't talk about in New Zealand. And especially you young men here in this room, it's not something we talk about. You're probably fidgeting now, even me mentioning it. And then you come across a book like this. You listen to The Bullied and the Beautiful. It's a TED Talk, which I've shown you before that we showed this book. I then showed you the video of To This Day, which is the animated version of the shorter TED Talk that he does. And we talked about the language features within it, and this is the final piece of the puzzle. This is him talking about how he feels like his hands are sticks of dynamite, how he doesn't know how to deal with these emotions, how to deal with these feelings. This book covers everything. It covers everything from mental health, bullying, loss, suicide, thoughts of suicide also in this book. So I understand there'll be trigger warnings that we must talk about. But this book is important. If we're going to have conversations around this sort of thing, we need to understand what drives people to these edges. If mental health is something that we can discuss openly and honest, it helps you understand the person next to you. We don't know who in this room may be suffering. But as we listen to For the Bullied and the Beautiful, as we listen to This Day, we listen to Shane Koyczans talk about those raw feelings, those raw emotions. We can use this book. And so what I'd like to do is suggest it to someone in this room, that they read it, that they decide that they can take an excerpt from it, they find a page that they like, they find a line that they like, they find a verse, they find anything that they like. And then we can use that. We can go forward, we can have these conversations. But this is a very important book. So that's why I'm going to recommend it to this class and get one person to read it and make notes for me on how they may go forward and how we can go forward and use this book to have these important discussions. So Stickboy, Shane Koyczans, that is going to be the recommended read I think we have today.